Ladies and gentlemen, we have a game here from Navi versus Shirayuki. Slanesh versus Kislev. And Kislev brought triple Ice Guard with Glaives, and Slanesh brought, honestly, a bunch of meta units. Yeah. It's kind of a weird looking build, but none of those units are inherently like, wow, you're trolling. So let's see. And it's a desert map, so now the ice faction makes no sense, but whatever. Front line of 5 Chaos Warriors with Hell Scourges, 1 Mirror Guard, 3 Seekers of Slanesh with 1 Fiend, and Azazel with his Rampage and Lash. On the other side, we have an Ice Witch of Tempest with Hawks of Mishka. That's it for spells. Armored Kossar front line backed up by Kislevite Warriors and triple Ice Guard with Glaives, as well as a Little Grom, who's currently trying to snipe out Azazel, and starts off strong with a direct hit. Combined arms fire of Kislev, letting her rip into the Chaos Warriors of Slanesh. Just getting some free little poke damage while they can. The Ice Guard will obviously turn and shoot at the Seekers and the Fiends when that becomes more relevant. The Pistol's just going to shoot at the Chaos Warriors until they get into melee. Ice Witch is going to have a hell of a time clearing out all this heavy infantry over the course of a game. And Azazel starts us off with a Rampage on the Ice Guard. I don't know what that's going to amount to, though. There's no real punish for it just yet. Like, they're going to run forward into melee briefly and then back off, so they'll be okay. That's what it is. Honestly, I might have saved that for when your Seekers and Fiends were in range, so that the Ice Guard wouldn't be around to shoot, because now they're freed up, so they can just back up and shoot. Meanwhile, we have some Hell Scourges diving through the front line, causing disruption. Good for them. Now the Seekers are starting to get involved. In comes the Fiends and the Seekers, lots of armor piercing. Ice Guard are hybrid halberd units, but they are way outclassed by being flank charged by Seekers and frontal charged by Hell Scourges, so they're going to die actually rather quickly for such an expensive unit. Snow Leopard Summon is coming out to try and divert some of the attention away. But it got canceled by a Hawks of Mishka cast. Decent damage here onto the Seekers. Looks like enough of them are still in this blob fight. They're taking some serious damage. And Azazel's trying to distract Little Grom. He is fighting a bunch of Kislevite Warriors. He's not large, so I guess he's not taking extra damage, but that Hawk's Discourage really hurts the Seekers, and they take enough damage that 2 Seekers fade away. That is 2,000 gold off the field for Slanesh. That is really brutal. And while a lot of people have been saying Seekers are good now after their buffs, it's still, they're demonic and they're very squishy, so I'm concerned whenever I use them. 2 Ice Guards are almost entirely dead, though, so the Seekers definitely did their job. Did you see that Little Grom shot in the background? Because I did. That looked very painful. Okay. Okay, fine. So 2 the Ice Guard are routing. The third one is still here. Third one's doing fine. Little Grom is still firing every so often. The front line, the Chaos Warriors are prevailing quite heavily, actually. They have taken very little damage in response to get through. Like, that one's messed up, and the Mirror Guard are kind of messed up. All the rest are perfectly fine. Another Little Grom shot onto the Seekers. And honestly, if these Kislevite Warriors turn and fight for even just a little bit, they'll get those Seekers to kill themselves off with the demonic instability, so Little Grom should be just fine. Another Hawks of Mishka is out. It does not do friendly fire damage, so Kislev is not making a mistake casting it in the middle of all their own troops. The Seekers in the back line are gone. Now the Fiends are taking decent damage, and if Little Grom shoots them right now, while they're already in a very close to demonic instability crumbling state, they're even going to start crumbling. Look at all that HP. That hyper elite unit is killing itself off. Hawks of Mishka is so good versus Slanesh, apparently. As the Fiends are still crumbling. They might rally soon, but no, it doesn't seem to be the case. They are just going to fade away entirely. That is a huge loss for Slanesh. Still have Chaos Warriors grinding it out. Azazel is still trying to hunt down Little Grom, but the balance of power has shifted pretty far against Slanesh at this point. And Azazel's like, I don't really know how to get out of here. What is that? Oh, it's slicing shards from Azazel. Okay. Curious how much damage it does. Might be Overcast. That would do a lot more damage, but I don't know if he has Winds of Magic for that just now. I legitimately don't know if that was Overcast or not, but it did a lot of damage to Little Grom, plus Azazel fighting back. He's going to kill him with one more hit. Looks like he's just going to back off instead, counting on Little Grom to rout as soon as Bio Blood wears off. Elsewhere, the Ice Witch is still motoring through Chaos Warriors. We still have 3 healthy Chaos Warriors with Hell Scourges. 1 is very wounded. The Mirror Guard is very wounded. Azazel is actually quite wounded. Little Grom does rout as soon as Buyer Blood wears off, so he's gone. Still have one Ice Guard. What the hell was that? Is that a Hawks? That was a weird Hawks of Mishka cast. I don't like that. That was predicting the Chaos Warriors would get all the way over here, which they definitely didn't. I guess maybe they just wanted to discourage Azazel, but I don't know. He's a little sturdier stuff than Seekers are. Bit of a wasted cast there. Don't love it. For the conquest point, Kislev did technically just take it, so they'll be ticking up points slowly. Azazel still taking damage every so often, down to 1700 HP total. Little Grom is back. 2 leadership for him as he tries to line up a shot onto something. Honestly, great targets. If he can manage to hit Azazel, he could get that Lord Snipe out. If he can shoot at any of these giant clumps of Chaos Warriors, he can also do a lot of damage there, just from impact damage and whatnot. Is shooting at Azazel, barely misses. Some Ice Guard also trying to hit him right now. And their shots do have frostbite, so if they manage to hit him with even one arrow, they'll slow him down. That makes Little Grom's job a lot easier. There's the frostbite, but Grom already fired the wrong direction. Slash still just trying to grind away with all these Hell Scourges. Trying. Doesn't mean they're overly succeeding. Frostworm is showing its buffed prowess versus them. And another Hawks of Mishka is out. Surprised it's going for these guys and not these guys. This is like a perfect blob of units that just hit right in the face. The Chaos Warriors are nowhere near routing, so even that minus 16 isn't going to really deter them too much. Kislev has the points, they're plenty happy with that. And they just need to get any damage onto Azazel they can, which they are getting some. He was at like 1700 last time we checked. He's now at 1250. And Little Grom is back, trying to get a shot off, but Azazel gets back into the sky, which usually makes him pretty hard to hit if he dodges at all, which he is trying to. Does not dodge that shot, takes it directly in the face, and he still has the Discourage from the Hawks applied. Not gonna Demonic Instability Crumble though, gets all that leadership back right where he needed it to be. And another Slicing Shards is coming down onto a bunch of Kislevite warriors. Get rid of them. His Little Grom is about to shatter, but he's going to fire at Azazel one more time. Azazel's not dodging at all. Ah, but the shatter comes in. If he had fired, Azazel actually would have died. Okay. Chaos Warriors down to 1 healthy Hell Scourge, 2 almost dead Hell Scourges, and a very, very close dead Azazel. On the other side, the Ice Witch, very, very healthy, but Kislev doesn't have a lot besides her left. You have some Armored Kossars here and there. That's about it. Another Hawks? You have that off cooldown already? Alright, well this is the kind of blob I wanted to hit right away. So causing a lot of disruption, doing some decent damage to the last Chaos Warrior that's healthy. Good damage. The Ice Witch does need to be cycle charging more. That is one thing, is she has incredible collision attacks, so she needs to use those rather than just sitting in Chaos Warriors and hoping for the best. Ice Guard get routed by Azazel, who lands on top of them. Other Kislevite warriors are terror routing in front of him, and they also turn into normal routing. A lot more Kislev troops are routing. You have a couple Armored Kossars firing their pistols into the backs of the Chaos Warriors of Slaanesh, really trying to get those guys to rout, but they're immune to terror, immune to psychology because they're Slaaneshi. The Ice Witch can't get rid of them if she wanted to. Azazel just runs around routing more stuff. Still has that 800 HP. And now this is starting to get into the concerning part where if the Ice Witch isn't going to use her collision attacks and like really run through stuff or chase stuff down, Kislev's going to run into issues. Because she can't just sit in that Chaos Warrior over there. She might be able to win this fight, but you can see she is taking damage for this. She's not getting away with it scot-free. So if she sits in that Chaos Warrior later, that's going to be a problem. Armored Kossars get tier 3 Fascinationed into the Chaos Warriors, mostly just doing it for the damage, I suspect, as Azazel routes off this other guy. So really good stuff here from Slaanesh, routing off all the support of Kislev as best they can. These Chaos Warriors actually have a lot of HP left. Kislev needs to send something after them to kill those guys. But doesn't seem to be the case. Ice Witch is getting distracted. She wants to just snipe out Azazel. That's risky. I mean, he can fly. Should be chasing down these other guys. Or cycle charging. I wouldn't hate for her to come over here and charge through these guys while they're all nice and clumped up. She'd get a lot of collision damage, but she really wanted Azazel. Which is not to be. Getting a little worried for Kislev. They're still ahead on the balance of power, but they have a Frostworm Lord that takes up a lot of balance of power. See, right here, that could be a beautiful rear charge into those Chaos Warriors of Slaanesh, but she's still pathing over to Zazel. Come on, just charge through him. Just charge through him. Yeah, yeah, let's go. That's a good amount of damage considering what point in the game we're at. Vayne to do a little bit of damage to her and also rampage her in place. Rampage is not a stun or anything, so she can still swing. If Azazel lands on her, that might be a little risky. If she hits Azazel one time, he's going to Demonic Instability Crumble. For sure. So right now, she's just T-posing it out. Kislev has some Armored Kossars coming back. That is it for now. Armored Kossars and the Ice Witch of Tempest. As Azazel's going to try and grab more army passive by chasing people off. Ice Witch is now starting to get her charge on. Good damage to the Chaos Warriors, but their leadership is holding. And Immune to Psychology is doing a lot of work for them. Does she have another Hawks of Mishka in her back pocket? It's 13 Winds of Magic, and she's cast like 50. There's no way she does. Azazel's nearby. I mean, they're all clumped up. If she has a Hawks, now is the time. That would be huge, because it's minus 16 aura. Besides just the damage, the minus 16 aura would get rid of 2 of these Chaos Warriors. But 5 Chaos Warriors of Slaanesh all grouping up at the point. I find it hilarious they haven't captured the point yet, because they're all so wounded they have no capture weight. Lash Slaanesh down the side, try and get rid of the Armored Kossars, as the Kislev Warriors think about just routing for being near Azazel. But in comes the Ice Train. Slamming into these guys. Decent little damage. And then she retreats to get another charge up while her Armored Kossars and Kislev Warriors do the work for her. She is daring Azazel to land. She starts slithering again. Goes through these guys, gets a couple hundred HP off of them for a bit. Man, they're just not routing at all. If she kills Azazel, she might win. She casts a Hawks of Mishka, she might win. If she does both, she obviously wins. And if she does neither, she obviously loses. So I wonder. She needs to get one of those things for this to even matter. But if she hasn't cast a Hawks by now, I'm guessing she just doesn't have the Winds of Magic. I guess it's Azazel or nothing. Which Azazel can just stay up in the sky. Yeah. She's getting so low. The Chaos Warrior did shatter, which that gives you the leadership debuff of nearby allies routing or whatever. Oh wow, they aren't? Really? Weird. Ice Witch is chilling. 7 models, 34 models, 30 models, and 52 models of Chaos Warriors of Slaanesh. Azazel lurking overhead. She's gonna go set up a cycle charge. Right back through these guys. Yeah, that's the collision damage we're talking about. She needs a lot more of that. 91 HP on these guys, and they're seriously not routing. They have 21 leadership even. They're not even scared at all. And they're down to 6. Just gonna go cycle charge again. Slices through the Chaos Warriors once more. And Azazel's actually thinking about diving in for it. Demon Blade to apply Discourage, get her leadership lower. It's a leadership game at this point. Does she still have Dire Blood? Yeah, she still has Dire Blood, though. Azazel's in. He dives past her, getting to safety. Wow, that was actually the perfect amount of animations for him. And okay, her charge misses, barely. Barely the charge misses. And I think she's going to want to cycle again. Yeah, she's getting out of melee. Ooh, I saw negative 18 before it popped right back up to 44. Alright, cycle back in. She's thinking about it. A little bit more damage. Gets to safety again. She's thinking about going in again. About 100 damage per unit she interacts with. Gets away, and she's just not taking any damage. That's the big problem for Slaanesh. She's not taking damage for doing this. Oh. There's a couple hundred off the top. The Slaanesh boys are all really low. Man, if she still had a Hawks. I know she doesn't. I get it. But also, man, what if she did? Just like right there. Just a... And they all run away. Azazel -4 leadership for quite a while. Rallies back up to 32, but he didn't demonic instability crumble, and she didn't get a hit off. If she had gotten a hit off, oh, look at these guys. Look at them. 9 leadership, 6 leadership. Azazel thinks about diving in, but she jumps in instead. Those Chaos Warriors and Hell Scourgers are literally going to fight at the end. Azazel's back in again. Ice Witch trying to get a shot out. She takes some big damage. Fire Blood is popped, but she gets a shot on Azazel. She gets a little shot onto him, and Demonic Instability is coming for him. This is her big moment. Fire Blood is popping. Azazel rallies? How? He went flying through the air. How did he possibly rally? How was that ever good for him? And she goes after him again. She's like, wait a second, you just keep dying. And he's going down, and he does not get a shot on the way out. The Lord is dead. Penalty is up. One of those guys shatters. Another guy routes, but oh! She's negative on leadership. -4 leadership for these Chaos Warriors of Slaanesh. -11 for her. And she routes first. They were -2, but she routed first. That is a crazy ending. That is absolutely insane. So both units that were left on the field had negative leadership. It's just which one ticked over to routing first, and it looks like she had started being negative before they did. Azazel got crazy value. Chaos Warriors did very, very well. Seekers did not do great, unfortunately for them. Fiends got wrecked. Shirayuki's Lord did fantastically. She doesn't get credit for all the demonic instability she caused with the Hawks of Mishka. And then the Ice Guards did okay. Little Grom did great. GG.
Roar. Subscribe, yes.